The sports world detonated 2 minutes ago after Caitlin Clark achieved the impossible last night. Pat McAfee, yes, the renowned presenter who never backs down from a challenge, blasted Angel Reese on live television. As if things couldn't get any more intense, McAfee surprises everyone with a shocking revelation. What was initially intended to be a lighthearted post-game remark evolved into a startling, unrestrained assault on one of the WNBA's biggest stars. As if that weren't enough, McAfee launched into a tirade that was so personal and cruel that it surprised both celebrities and fans. What was said by McAfee? What was Reese's reaction? Well, it took just 2 minutes for things to become out of hand. The insults flew, the Twitter storms began, and what was the damage? It's too late to turn back now. Hold on tight, because this is just the start of a story that has the potential to completely change the sport. You won't believe what's about to happen next, so stay tuned. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, two ladies who have made headlines, are introduced at the beginning of the novel. Clark, the Iowa State shooting sensation, and Reese, the LSU Tigers' powerful forward, have been at odds for months, but yesterday night their rivalry reached a ferocity level. At the game, the excitement was evident. As they waited for the next moment that might change the game, fans were on the edge of their seats. However, no one was prepared for the Chicago Sky's blowout from Caitlin Clark. Clark destroyed the opposition with a performance so astounding that even longtime adversaries were forced to reconsider their viewpoint. The commotion? It was too much. However, McAfee, who usually takes advantage of drama, chose to bring up Angel Reese once the dust settled, pointing out that she didn't seem to have many key moments. This is when things start to get... Fans had been criticizing Reese, who had been on a roll all season, since they thought she hadn't yet lived up to the high standards set by her classmates. However, the charges focused on her personality as much as her game. Their rivalry had grown into something much more than basketball as a result of her notorious on-court altercations with other players, particularly Clark. Reese was a contentious force for some, but a cherished figure for others due to her passion, ambition, and unadulterated energy. With his customary unfiltered style, McAfee decided to add gasoline to the flames at that very moment. What came next? Public humiliation, a verbal duel, and the kind of drama that only the sports industry can provide. For weeks, McAfee's and Reese's conflict had been smoldering. All of it began with a Twitter back and forth in which Reese accused McAfee of disparaging her skill and disregarding the WNBA in favor of the popular sports narrative. In retaliation, McAfee said Reese was overhyped and described her as a player who wouldn't even make it on an NBA roster. But it was on live radio that the dispute erupted, not here. McAfee started breaking down the Chicago Sky Games happenings and analyzing Clark's incredible performance while hosting his well-liked show. But things took a turn for the worse when the topic of Reese came up. Hey, I understand. Angel Reese is ostentatious. She has a lot of vitality, but in actuality, she's a one-trick pony, McAfee remarked in a tone that was brimming with contempt. She couldn't even finish a season without coughing during a crucial moment, according to the last time I checked. She's not the next big thing, let's face it. What a player Caitlin Clark is. The reaction was instantaneous. Reese responded quickly and with obvious frustration. She criticized McAfee on social media for what she called unwarranted hatred and a failed attempt to grab headlines. Pat McAfee may be an excellent commentator, but he has no idea what real basketball is all about, she retorted in a tweet. He should wait to see what I do next if he believes Caitlin Clark's performance was particularly noteworthy. McAfee wasn't finished, though. He went farther. Oh no. The internet was rocked when a leaked video of Reese's intimate talk with her. Close pal came to light later in the show. Reese is heard disparaging her detractors on the recording, referring to McAfee's viewpoint as irrelevant and making fun of his clownish attempt to stir the pot. The disclosure sparked a flurry of responses. Supporters were split. Reese was perceived by some as a victim and by others as a troublemaker who was incapable of accepting criticism. Then, the worst part happened. It was discovered that Pat McAfee had a personal relationship with some WNBA insiders. According to leaked records, McAfee had been tutoring some important WNBA players behind the scenes, which may have influenced his assessment of Reese. The narrative began to take on a life of its own as the story became viral on social media. Fans of Team Reese versus Team McAfee stormed Twitter. However, the impact didn't end there. The sharpest critics of McAfee accused him of sexism in a widely shared thread. In a very troubling turn of events, they said he was biased against the WNBA in general, and that he was disparaging Reese because she was a woman. A video that surfaced showed McAfee making derogatory statements about women's sports in a private conversation from years ago, which was another bombshell from Reese's camp that added to the tension. It was a powerful video. McAfee attempted to backtrack, claiming it was a joke taken out of context, but the harm had already been done. In the meantime, Caitlin Clark, the focal point of all of this drama, began to gain popularity for very opposite reasons. Clark said in a now famous live broadcast that she was shocked by how soiled the drama had become. However, several people mistook her statement for a direct jab at Reese. The fire was merely fueled by this. Even though Clark had only ever been a spectator to the verbal sparring between Reese and McAfee, supporters were now accusing her of initiating the conflict. As anticipated, the drama spread beyond social media. A wide range of celebrities joined the battle. LeBron James even tweeted, "Sports media must stop disparaging our female athletes. Pat McAfee must learn to control his speech." While the WNBA had remained eerily quiet, speculation began to circulate around Reese's potential disciplinary consequences for her role in the tape leak. Reese's relationship with the league's leadership had reportedly soured in recent weeks, according to insider reports. However, the fans weren't the only ones responding. Senior sports officials, his career. According to one source, he may be skilled at speaking, but his words could end up costing him much more than a fan base. And then there was the public's outcry. In support of Reese, fans throughout America started planning demonstrations and demanding that McAfee's show be boycotted entirely. One ardent supporter wrote in a widely shared Instagram post, "He can't just tear down a woman in the sport because she's too good for him." A last twist that left everyone speechless appeared just when you thought the drama was at its height. Angel Reese had a complete emotional breakdown during a now famous Instagram live stream. "I'm not some prop for people like McAfee to use for their pitiful ratings," she said. "This has nothing to do with basketball. It's about a man who despises women in sports and is angry when we succeed." But then, and this is the worst part, she revealed an even more shocking revelation. According to a leaked message from a McAfee employee, McAfee had received payment to endorse specific players, and those players weren't Angel Reese. If confirmed, this message has the potential to permanently alter McAfee's reputation and career trajectory. We want to know what you think now that you've witnessed the mayhem. Was McAfee's assault on Reese motivated by hatred, or was it warranted? Will McAfee overcome the controversy, or is this the start of the end for his career? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. For the most recent